everybody, this is Anton from Darena Solutions, and in this video I'm going to show you how to effectively get up and running from scratch for the CGM Connectathon. The end result that we're trying to achieve is to effectively submit a CGM batch bundle to a Fire server and be able to view that data. So let me make the screen a little bit bigger. If you're not aware, in the Excel spreadsheet, we got the instructions for where you can just click a link and we have a bunch of data prepared, so you can use that. Otherwise, this is a from scratch setup. You're going to have to make your own account or use one that we provided, and you can follow similar steps. But here I am signed in into my account. I'm going to need a Fire server to upload the data to. So I'm going to go ahead and create a Fire, we call them workspaces because they have a bit more than just a Fire server, but we're going to create a standalone workspace, and the workspace name, I'm just going to call it CGM test. Okay, I'm going to create this, and there we go. So currently this has no patients. If I take a look at the settings, my workspace URL is going to be this. So if I want to upload a bundle, I would post my bundle to this URL. Okay, so we are going to need a patient to sign in with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a test foo, let's say 0101 2000, and then I will need an email address for which I will stop in for like a temp email address, search for something like this, and just to quickly create an account. So I'm going to copy this to clipboard, paste this into here, and add the patient. Okay. So once patient is there, I'm going to copy an invite URL that is going to generate a URL to invite this user to our platform to effectively create a patient account, etc. For this, I'm going to now open an incognito tab and paste the invite URL into here. This should allow me to accept an invitation. The email for which is going to be this one. So I'm just going to copy this again, paste this into here, and supply a super secure password. Okay, this is for myself. So the surname, I'll just double check, is Foo, and birthday is 0101 2000. Okay, so relationship is for self. I'm gonna accept invitation, and there we have it. So this is myself. I currently have no documents and just my patient record. In the end, in the old data, we would like to see the CGM data, all the observations displayed here. Okay, now that I'm a patient, I'm going to grab a link from the Excel spreadsheet to surface the submission client, the CGM submitter glitch.me, the standalone launch. So this is a template URL. So what you have to supply is a client ID, a bunch of scopes. So we're going to need a different scope, not this one, because we're going to be writing data as a patient. So we need star.star. And the issuer is going to be your Fire server URL. So we don't have a client yet, and we need to configure the scopes. The redirect URL, we will also need it. It's not written down anywhere, but I will just tell you what it is. There are ways to find out, but I'm not going to go into details about that. So I'm going to go ahead, return home. I'm going to go to apps, and I'm going to register a new app. This is going to be a patient app. So CGM patient app. Public, I don't want any secrets. Let's go ahead and select, we can just select all scopes, but some scopes of interest might be patient star.star. Okay, so make sure you have that selected. Launch / patient is also selected. We're going to need that. And then for the redirect URLs, if you just put CGM submitter glitch me, and instead of standalone HTML, you just put redirect.html. Okay, and that should take care of it. So just go to the next step, ignore the link tab step, and that should be registered. So here is our new client ID. Let's go back to apps, and if something, you can copy it from here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and paste the client ID here. I'm going to go to workspaces, grab the URL, paste it into the issuer here. And then for the scopes, so just to give you what we want is OpenID plus, let's say profile plus launch / patient plus, what is it, patient / all resources, and all permissions. Okay, so the plus I'm putting here is a URL encoded space. So you can like put a space in the URL. That's what that's for. So let me just go ahead and make sure that I'm selecting everything after the equals up to the ampersand. Okay, I'm gonna paste these scopes into here. Okay, I'm gonna press enter on this URL now. This should redirect me. You're not gonna see it, but it's gonna redirect you to MeldRx to sign in if you're not signed in. But because I have a sign-in session, it's just asking me to select a patient. Okay, so I'm gonna select this test patient. I'm gonna allow access to my app, and there we have it. So another thing that we want is an example bundle. Again, this is what's available on the spreadsheet. So I'm just gonna copy the URL, and this is what the bundle looks like. Go ahead and download it. You're then going to choose a file and submit this bundle, right? So here is this bundle for me, CGM data submission bundle. You can see it in the preview. I'm going to open it. You're going to see something like this. And for this, it may help to have the network tab open to maybe learn about what is actually happening. So we're going to upload this to the server, and at the beginning, this should fail, and that is because according to the CGM specification, a patient cannot just upload their data into the Fire server with a batch bundle. You actually need to have a service request. Now, if you know how to create a service request, you just create or effectively obtain a token as this user, and you would just submit the service request to the Fire server, and you would just create it there. Okay, so we have a little bit of an easier way to do it. So what you want to look for is, if you open a new tab, go for smart.meldrx.com. So with this, you're on app.meldrx.com. Here you're going to be on smart.meldrx.com. Okay, this is a separate application that we build to demonstrate different functionalities, etc. But before you actually start using this application, you want to go ahead and create a provider application. So you're going to connect to the workspace as a provider. We're going to click on next step here, CGM provider. Again, leave this to be public, MeldRx scope, so we will select all. We're not going to be launching a patient because we're just going to create the service request. And particularly, again, what you're going to be looking for is patient star.star scope that it's selected and the user star.star. Okay. So with the redirect URLs, it's just going to be, and actually we outline it here, so you can just go ahead and copy it, paste it into here. And here's the application. So we're going to click next, register, and here's the app. So in the end, you will end up with two apps. You can go into the smart application, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to log in as the account that I'm here. And what this does is actually allows me to query which workspaces I have. So I can just say, okay, give me this workspace and I want to sign in using this provider application. Okay, let's select the user star.star and patient star.star scopes and just go ahead and click connect. And we should allow access. Okay, so if you're interested, there were two sign-in sessions, or two authentication methods that we went through. The first one is just to authenticate as a user, so we can actually grab the information about the stuff we have in our platform. And the second one is now we're actually signed in as a doctor. So let's go ahead and search for all patients. We should be able to find our food test bar. And if you select it, just for this demo, we have created this create CGM request button. Create CGM service request button, right? So if you just click on this, I mean, it's a quick and dirty way to just do a demo. So after a while, it'll just reconnect. So you don't get a lot of that user experience feedback, but there you have it. So that should be created now. You can confirm this by going to workspaces and again, reaching the same view as you do on the patient view. As if you go and look here, you'll take a look at the old data, and now you should have the service request where you can view the JSON for this. Okay, so later on, you can effectively use this smart tool to go to the smart, well, to the, which button did I press? Switch to API Explorer and grab the token And if you want to use Insomnia, Postman, curl, all of those, you can effectively just take this payload as an example and post it using the token to a Fire server. Okay. The point is that the service request is in the system now, so we are allowing the patient to upload data. Let's go ahead and again open up the CGM app that we were signed into as a patient, and we're going to click on upload to Fire server again. Okay, so this time the call has succeeded. If we take a look at the request that has went out, we'll see that 2 requests have failed, and this is something that we've reported that is basically not according to the Fire specification, where entries such as the diagnostics report here, the CGM summary PDF example, because the bundle type is batch, is referring to, where is it? Yeah, this result, this observation. So the patient already exists, and the application automatically populates this patient field. But this observation doesn't exist. It's another entry in the bundle. And because the way that the batch bundle is processed, you cannot reliably generate an identifier for this. Okay, so this request will fail because it's referencing other entries in the bundle, which it shouldn't. And this request fails because it does effectively the same thing. So I'm not sure what's going to be done about this, whether in the future the bundle will switch to a match, or you're going to have to submit this as a second request, or maybe something will change about the Fire spec to accommodate this, but I don't know. But just be aware that once you're a patient and you go to take a look at all of your data, you're going to see these observations, right? But you're not going to see your diagnostics report, and you're not going to see this other CGM summary observation, okay? These are not going to be uploaded because they're not according to Fire specification. All the other observations will be uploaded, okay? And yeah, as a patient, you also have access to the service request. You can take a look at this data as it's yours, okay? So I think this is it. So set up from scratch, you obtain your MeldRx account, you create a workspace, you create a patient, you accept the invite as a patient, so now you have access to the platform as a patient. You use the application provided by Josh Mandel, this CGM submitter, to connect to the workspace. For this, you're going to need to register an app, which is the CGM patient app. And once you've connected, the initial request to submit the CGM bundle should fail because you don't have a service request. So then you create a CGM provider app to connect to the workspace as a provider using the smart application. And this is just a convenient way to generate a service request. Ideally, in reality, this is going to happen by the EHR should initiate this. So a doctor is sitting at a computer, presses button that, yeah, I'm allowing this user to upload data. And then this should be created. So it will be an application. Probably it shouldn't look like this. But yeah, once you have generated a service request, again, as a patient, you should be able to then submit your data. And just a caveat that I outlined about these resources that are non-spec compliant are going to be rejected. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching, and hope you have a good Connectathon.